Hi, this is Sean, and in this lesson we're going to look at chord movement. What is it? How do you get started with it? And what are some of the main principles that you can follow and get into your playing? So chord movement is about getting movement into your chords. And in order to do it, you're going to need some right hand chords as well. Now, of course, many people talk about jazz as being chords in the left hand and melodies in the right hand. This kind of thing. Don't turn off yet. And that's really not enough. We want to get chords in the right hand. And then from there we want to actually get movement into the chords, the chord shapes as well. So that kind of business, so you have much more movement happening. Now, one of the best ways to get into that is learning one scale that's important that I'm going to show you later, and I'm going to create a couple of other videos showing its applications too. So the first thing I try and get students to do is to list all the chords we need, because we find that major and minor six are going to cover most of our movements once we figure out what the chords are and which voicings can apply to those chords. Let me show you what I mean. So the main chords we need, there are 7 of them. I'm not using extensions with 9ths, 11ths, 13ths, etc. Those will come out of superimposing major sixes or minor sixes or diminished in most cases on top of another chord. But let's take this a step at a time. Those chords we have, major 6 is one of them, minor 7, major 7, minor 6, minor 7 flat 5, dominant 7, and diminished. Those can be broken up into a couple of categories. Today is going to be about one of those categories, because all of these ones can be voiced with a C6. Let's see what that means. So C6 is also A minor 7 inverted, don't even need to put in another hand, and it's also an extension for F major 7. Now, of course, a lot of people will call it an F major 9. Doesn't make any difference to me. It's just F major 7. It's got an extra note on it. But that C6 functions in these 3 places now. It's a major 6 chord. If you change the bass to A, it's an A minor 7. And if you change the bass to F, it's F major 7 or an F major 7 voicing. What does that mean for a movement guy? That means that anything you know to do on C6 in terms of movement can be applied to A minor 7 and F major 7. And look how many of those chords we covered. Let's just go back. We covered major 6, we covered minor 7, and we covered major 7. Now, out of those 7 chords, that's half of them anyway. And actually we'll be able to cover some diminished stuff as well. But even if we say for this video it's half of them, that's alright, isn't it? So it's worth learning how to move on a major 6 chord so you can apply it to those places. So the C major 6 diminished scale is going to allow us to make movements in all of those places. Let's see what it is. And actually, to do this, why don't we share a piano on screen? If you add one extra note, this extra note, to the C major scale, it gives us some amazing movement opportunities. Now, there's a lot of science and theory underneath why that works and why it's important, but for now let's just learn to do some stuff. If we take that scale, I'd finger it 1, 2, 3, 4 and then back to 1, 3, 4, 5, and same the other way, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we want to make a 4-note chord in that scale, the first thing we should do is play alternate notes. Play 1, miss 1, play 1, miss 1, play 1, miss 1, play 1, until we have 4 notes. So here's how we do it. So the first chord is actually going to be C6. because remember you've got the A flat in between C and in between G and A. So that's between G and A was a note, so that's actually a missed note, right? So we get a C6. The second chord we're going to get is going to be D diminished. There's our D diminished. And there's great news from here, because all the other chords we're going to get are going to be inversions of either the C6 or the D diminished. Watch. So third degree. So we're starting here. We get a C6 again, inverted, okay? And now we're going to get D diminished, inverted. And, are you seeing a pattern yet? We're going to get another C6. Of course, inverted and D diminished. Don't forget, you've got to be on this A flat. Don't worry if your thumb's there. Then another C6, which the quickest ones amongst you will notice is also A minor 7. Okay, so, and we said that before, didn't we? We said C6 is also A minor 7. And then the last one is B diminished. And then we're back to C6. So, ideally you want to get those chords flowing through the scale and back down. A lot of people find that hard to start with, so what you can do is just learn to play the major 6 inversions, C6, and then the D diminished inversions, and then take those things and intertwine them. So you have a C6, a D diminished, a C6, a D diminished, etc. And you can do a ton of stuff with that. You'll never run out of things to do with it. And we're going to look at some possibilities in terms of movement in the next video.